guess I'm live. I didn't mean to go live this morning. What is going on? Let me prepare then, I guess. Good morning, everyone. I usually don't go live like this. I don't know what's going on. Let me prep. Oh, I guess I am live. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, I'm here. Good morning, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101, and I'm very surprised somehow I hit the live button. I usually do pre-recorded, but since I'm live, spirit of the moment, why not, right? Now, this morning we're going to talk about two stocks. We're going to talk about Blink Charging, and we're also going to talk about ChargePoint. They're very, very important stocks to the network of electric car vehicles. Okay, they're very important to the electric car vehicle network, and it's important that we start to invest in those stocks that will be around for a very, very long time. But let me play some music really quickly. I'll be right back here. Give me a second. You should be able to hear this.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys.
Good morning, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101, and this morning we'll be talking about Blink Charging and ChargePoint. Sorry for the early on. I thought I was pre-recording, and somehow I'm going live. So what the hell? Let's go and get into it and get back with the stock review. Okay, so we're going to get into this review. These two stocks, Blink Charging and ChargePoint, I want to say for the average investor, I don't believe that you can go wrong at all. I don't believe that you can go wrong at all. But in my opinion, there's one stock that shows more potential than the other stock, if that makes any sense, okay? So when it comes to Blink Charging, let's get into this one. Now, currently for the past year, Blink Charging has been up 371%, almost 372%. For the past 3 months, it's been down almost 18% the past month, down 21% the past week, up 7%, and today in the pre-market is down almost 4% when we're looking at it. Now, as you guys see right here, I have a small amount of shares. I only have like 2.3. Truth to be known, I really need to invest more money in this particular stock, and I'll tell you why, okay? So for you guys who are not aware of Blink Charging, it engages in the operation and provision of electric vehicle, charging equipment, and network EV charging services. Its product line and service include Blink EV Charging Network, charging equipment, also known as electric vehicle supply equipment, and EV charging services. The company was founded by Michael D. Francis on October 3rd, 2006. They have roughly 91 employees. What else is pertinent here? As you notice on Q4 21, it went down, and this is kind of like the height. This is when the news came out about semiconductors, aka microchips, come out, the shortage. And we're going to be in a shortage which predicted to 2023. So we'll see a lot of these stocks having a lot of volatility because of the shortage, okay? Especially these charging stations, they use semiconductors as well. Pretty much anything that has any electrical components, that has any electrical resistors of some sort, they have some form of semiconductor, aka microchip inside of it. So that's very important that you guys understand that, okay? Let me move on. Now, of course, here's some comparable stocks: Plug Power, Fuel Cell Energy, and ChargePoint, okay? So let's move on. That's Blink Charger. We're going to compare this with no other than ChargePoint. And automatically, I know you guys see that ChargePoint is at a lesser amount for their stock at 2260 versus Blink Charging at 3150. Let's go back to ChargePoint. Now, it's been up over the past year for 125%. The past 3 months, 10% has been down. The past month been down almost 33%. The past week down almost 1%. And in the pre-market, it's been down 6%. Let's read about this one if you're not familiar. ChargePoint Holdings is an EV charging network provider which is committed to enabling the electrification of mobility for all people and goods. It envisions a new way of fueling. Conventionally located where drivers live, work, and play, the company was founded in 2007. It's headquartered in Campbell, California. Now, this company is only 1 year older than Blink Charging. A lot of these companies really started getting on board when the sales of Tesla started to increase. They started building these networks very, very early. And that's what's important here. So there's really no difference it's a year difference in when they both started. So that really doesn't mean anything. If you notice here, the analysts are saying buy at 87.5, hold at 12.5%, but none of them are starting to sell. I didn't see that with Blink Charging. I don't believe they had that same analytics there. And if you see here, Q4 they were down, but Q1 they're up. Now people in this same sector, they're saying Neo, Nano Dimensions, and also Blink Charging. Let's go over to Market Watch. Now this is for Blink Charging, and their EPS, excuse me here, let me get this out the way, is almost $1. Okay, dollar under, 65 cents under. Earnings per share shows you if the company is operating out of debt or reinvesting that money, which occurred them to be debt. But for this particular point, they're not doing bad at all. Okay, they're not doing bad at all, FYI. Now, year to date, they're down 25%, but in the last year, they've been up 353%, okay? And the analysts on Market Watch are saying buy. They're saying buy, 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 okay? Let's move over to ChargePoint. And I want to really give you a good comparison because I believe it's very important that you guys understand the difference here. So you know exactly what you're investing in and the analytics behind it. Now, if you notice here, ChargePoint is down $8. I'm just going to round it up to $9. They're down $9 in debt. And ladies and gentlemen, when you look at these figures here and you're saying, oh, you know, that's not a lot. We're talking about millions of dollars in debt, okay, if not hundreds. But that doesn't mean that they can't turn around. That doesn't mean that they're not reinvesting the money inside of their stock. So it's important, but you still, with more information, you can make a better, well-informed decision. That's all I'm saying, okay? But at the end, I will give you what my pick is, okay? And I could be absolutely wrong. Now, year to date, they're down 44% if you round up. Right here, they're down 44% year to date. In the past year, they've been up 119%. When I compare that to Blink Charging did a lot better in this past year, okay? What are the analysts saying on here? They're also saying buy. See, that's why I was saying that you really can't go wrong with both of these. You got Blink Charging at $31.50. You have ChargePoint at $22.60 per share. And it's really the amount of debt that they're incurring. They're really trying to turn over this market very, very quickly, even with the shortage of semiconductors, okay? So that, in some terms, is really phenomenal. Now, don't let this next string fool you and or deter you from investing. Short term for Blink Charging, they have it going up in the next 2 to 6 weeks, but down for the rest of the year. Okay? Let me just scroll down here very quickly. I want to see what the analysts are saying here on Yahoo Finance, and they're saying that it's overvalued. I definitely disagree. Now, they also have ChargePoint here moving sideways, but over the rest of the next 9 months to 12 months, they have it going down. Now, let me speak about this very quickly. A lot of times when I'm looking at these analytics and I'm watching the way the market is moving, what I'm noticing is that when the stocks start to plunge and everybody starts to sell. And again, this is financial literacy 101, basic groundwork of investing. When stocks go down, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to increase the volume of a stock, because the more of an item you have, the less it's worth, meaning that you're going to get these stocks cheaper than what they're probably worth later on. Because the one thing I want you guys to remember is called scarcity. When the volume of a stock decreases, it's more scarce, meaning it's more hard to obtain these particular stocks. I mean, you can go on Robinhood, WeBull, all these platforms and buy them, but the stock is worth more. It's kind of like, if you guys are familiar with cars, they had the Tucker 50. He only made 50 of these cars. And these cars are very, very expensive for these old ass cars, but there was only 50 made. Okay, very, very rare. So when things begin to run out, just like remember the start of the pandemic, where toilet paper and napkins, anything that you can use, I guess, to make sanitation wipes or anything of that matter, the prices of them went up and there was literally none. Or you only can buy one, you can only buy two from these stores. So think about that when you're talking about stocks. When you see the stock price start to drop, don't sell your stock, buy the stock. Okay? The term buy low, sell high means a lot, because stocks go through a trend. It's kind of like in a relationship. You have some good days, you have some bad days, right? But on the good days, you sell. On the bad days, you buy. So you have to kind of remap, rethink, reconfigure the way you go about investing. Do not become emotional. It's just money. Don't invest money you're willing to lose. Anyway, moving right along. Let's go over to see what they're saying here. They probably say it's overvalued as well. And of course, they have it as overvalued. Let's move on. So when I go to the stock forecast at CNN Business here, what I'm looking at, that this is Blink Charging. Let me make sure I reference that. This is Blink Charging, okay? That's Blink Charging family. And they're saying a low of $37, okay? So already Blink Charging is at $31.50, okay? Blink Charging is already at $31.50. The median price, the target price, is saying $38, so only $1 up from the low. But they're saying the high amount for Blink Charging is $60 per share. So basically, if the stock is now at $31.50, you're going to double your money. You're going to double your money, family, if you invest in this particular stock. Let me move on. ChargePoint. This is ChargePoint, okay? Let me just scroll over. People love to see. Here we go. ChargePoint Holdings, okay? So when I'm looking at ChargePoint, right now ChargePoint is at $22.63. They're saying the low is $29. They're saying the median price is $39, and then the high is $46, okay? And I gotta give you a little more context before I give you my personal one out of the two. Now, if you have the capacity, you have the money, invest in both of them. I don't believe you're gonna go wrong on neither one of them, okay? But I will give you the one that I'm going to buy more stock in. But let's go over to Blink Charging, and we're gonna ask a couple of questions to Google here, okay? Now, I says, how many Blink charging stations are there? There's 5,000 charging stations, okay? And it says, and new opportunities and legislation have provided states with the chance to make a giant leap forward and develop electric vehicle infrastructure in the United States. Here's another question, which is the most important question for me. Does Blink Charging work with Tesla? Not that exact question, but I want you to read the answer. Blink charging stations are compatible with any fully electric or plug-in hybrid vehicle, including the entire line of Tesla. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about the Ford F-150 Lightning that's coming out. I want you thinking about the new Tesla Plaid that's coming out. I want you thinking about whether it be Hyundai, Honda, who else? Audi. All these car makers are making a fully electric car. BMW, Lexus, they're all coming out with a fully electric car, and some of them have already came out with hybrids. They can all charge at the Blink charging stations. Okay, let's read that one more time. Not to belittle, okay, but it's very important that we understand this. Compatible with any fully electric or plug-in hybrid vehicle. Okay? So I just wanted to drive that home. Let's go over to ChargePoint. Let's go over to ChargePoint. We want to make sure we do a good comparison and contrast. ChargePoint works for Tesla drivers. Now, more than 128,000, so let's round it up, 129,000 places to charge. Charge at ChargePoint Level 2 stations uses the adapter that came with your Tesla and get an adapter online to use whatever that is, DC fast charging, okay? And fast charging is very, very important, okay? Let me scroll up here. Where's that other question? There we go. What cars are compatible with ChargePoint? As for ChargePoint, it has been working with automakers, to give out introduction kits for EV drivers of several new cars from brands like Chevrolet, Honda, Hyundai, Jaguar, and Mitsubishi. Okay? So, when I'm looking at Blink Charging and I'm looking at ChargePoint, ChargePoint has over 129,000 charging points. 129,000 charging points, and I can get this stock at around $22.63. And they're working with car makers to get their introduction kits. So when you drive in with your new fully electric Mitsubishi, Hyundai, Jaguar, Lexus, whatever you may have, they will have an adapter for you so you can plug in and charge at their charging station at 129,000 charging stations. Versus Blink Charging, okay? Versus Blink Charging 5,000 charging stations. But that is compatible with all electric vehicles and hybrid vehicles. Now, the difference between charging, level 1 charging and level 2 charging is that level 2 charging is faster. Now, if you guys are not familiar with this particular environment and the networking, electric vehicle car makers are making their vehicles with the technology behind, what's the name of the QR charging, where you just drop your phone on a little charging platform. They will allow you guys to drive in your electric vehicle over a charging pad and charge it. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to get the time down from zero charge to fully charged in 15 to 30 minutes, somewhere in between there. They're really trying to hit a sweet spot about 15 to 20 minutes, not 30 minutes, but they're really trying to get it really, really fast. Because first they're trying to perfect their charging when they plug in your throttle, you plug in your hose. I don't know all the right terminologies, family. Excuse me, but these stocks are very important to your portfolio. I will go off on a limb and say, if you don't have one of these two stocks, then you don't really have a solid portfolio. I mean, just buy one share and see what happens. Now, as we're looking at the analytics and statistics that they're saying that these stocks are going to go down in the next year, don't try to leave this stock. Don't sell your stock. Don't expunge your portfolio. Please, please, please buy more stock. Electric vehicles aren't going anywhere. And for you guys who are not familiar with the history of electric cars has been out since the 1800s. I did a video in a car museum, one of my old videos, and I was showing how, all of these vehicles. And when the guy told me that this particular car was an all-electric car back in 1800, it blew my mind. So what all of these car companies are doing is nothing new. The difference is, this is a huge difference. Back then, they didn't have a sustainable network like they do gas stations, okay, using fossil fuels. Remember E85, the corn fuel? That was about, a good 5 years, and that went away. This electric vehicle stuff is not going away, especially when popular people are driving around electric vehicles, or common day folk like you and I are looking at electric vehicle like, that look pretty good. Ooh, I like that screen in it. Oh, it drives itself. I don't know if I'll use that option, but I'm curious. When the regular public start to become curious, because right now, these are very niche items, okay? Not everybody's willing to drive an electric vehicle. That's kind of like, if I ask yourself, I say you had two choices. Would you get a Nissan Maxima, or would you get a Toyota Prius? Most of you guys gonna say, I'm just gonna take the Maxima. I don't want no damn Prius, right? But when these electric car vehicles start looking like regular cars, and the only difference is the guts of it, the engine and the components is electric, you're like, there's no difference except the fuel that goes inside the vehicle. So with that being said, my pick for me is Blink Charging. And some of you are saying, well, ChargePoint has a larger network. I like the slow growth of Blink Charging. To me, the financials add up a lot better. When I look at ChargePoint, they have been moving very fast. And a lot of times moving fast is not always the best. That doesn't mean they won't recoup, because Amazon moves very fast and they continue to do well. But I like the slow growth. I like how Blink Charging is really building their networks. I love the fact that they're making sure it's done right the first time. And even though they only have 5,000, these are very valuable stations, and they're making sure that it's compatible. They make sure it's safe. And I'm not saying ChargePoint is not doing that, but again, you notice whatever you see sometimes is not what you get. You notice that? You ever see somebody give you something or somebody show you something? Like, ladies and fellas, the guy shows you he's this big, strong guy, but he don't got his shit together, right? or vice versa. These women with this new witchcraft where they got all this makeup on, and then you take them to the pool, you see them out the shower, and you're like, ooh, that's not what I thought. So with that being said, I like the behind financials that you don't get when you're just basically reading about a stock. I went and researched Blink Charging, and there are more solid numbers that I like versus ChargePoint. So Blink Charging is my choice. This is Financial Literacy 101. You guys